Hi folks, and welcome to Reread, where I am rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order, something no one should do unless maybe you've read it all before. I'm going to talk about the Dark Lords of the Sith series, the mini-series written by Anderson and Tom Veitch. This is when, Anderson, maybe almost the passing of the baton. Obviously, it's connecting to Kevin J. Anderson's already established Jedi Academy series. I don't know how much they had planned out, but Tom Veitch was a willing participant when he wrote this, because a long time ago when I believe the spirit of Naga Shadow said there may be one or two of you that will come over. It was foreshadowing Exar Kun as well, which is finally who we get to see here. And it goes through kind of his journey into the dark side. He was a student who was always inquisitive of the dark side. He just wanted to study everything. But his master says, no, you can't have the dark side studies right now. And that ticked him off. He's like, well, look, I've learned a lot. Why can't I learn about the dark side? I need to be prepared and whatnot. But his master denies him the knowledge. He then has a lightsaber battle with another Jedi who scratches his face, gives him that cool scar. Of course, he lashes out in anger, and that's not the way it should be. His Jedi Master challenges him to a duel and beats him, but Exar Kun cheats in a way and uses the Force to grab an extra lightsaber and fights him with two lightsabers against a little wooden staff from his master. Beats him, goes away all ticked off, goes to Master Arca and his group of Jedi and says, hey, yeah, I'm a Jedi historian. I'm here to look at some of those Sith artifacts you found on Onderon. They're like, Arca looks at him like, no, who are you kidding? You are, not who you say you are. And they kind of run him off. He's kind of pissed off. And he wants to know about the Sith, so he goes searching. I think it's Corbin is where he goes to. And then that's when, and I'm spoiling everything here, he gets trapped under a bunch of rubble and is about to die. He's hurting so bad. And the Sith entity, the Force Ghost, Naga Shadow, appears to him. Embrace the dark side. Use the dark side. You open it up in your heart. And he's just, all of a sudden, Exar Kun is just so regretful. Why didn't he listen to his master? Now he's all alone, and he doesn't want to accept the Force. And I thought, the dark side of the Force went, man, that is not a good story. This is not as good as I thought. But it gets better, actually, because he finally admits that he is willing to be a Dark Force user. And he has to say it with meaning. So he gets a symbol ingrained upon his forehead. He gets the power of the dark side, which heals him. And you think, okay, now this is how he's evil? No, he's still not evil. He's still refusing to use the dark side because he's like, no, I just wanted to learn about it. I didn't want to become it. Now, Naga Shadow knows that this is just the step down to a journey that he'll never recover from. And so then he brings him to another Sith planet, tests him again. He has to use his rage, I think it's Yavin 4 now, to kind of get rid of or save himself from creatures on the planet. And every step is slowly leading him to the dark side. Now, Exar Kun still just wants to learn and study about the Sith. He will eventually destroy Naga Shadow's Sith ghost, and basically wants to form his own Jedi, his own order. Yes, it's with the dark side, but he sees how powerful the dark side can be, and it's more or less like, you know what, the Republic is weak, it's crumbling apart, I can see that. The light side masters don't want us learning about the dark side, but I think you can control both, and it gives you an understanding. He's not just a generic villain who's all of a sudden, stroking his little black mustache, has a little bowler cap on his head, and is tied someone up to the railroad tracks. That's kind of an old saying. I don't know if anyone would get that, but that's the generic, villain. And he's not that. He basically has his own idea of what the Republic should be and what the Jedi should be, and this is not a bad idea. Now, he is kind of fooling himself because all along he has taken the dark side, and now he's kind of convincing himself, no, this is the proper way. I'm not doing anything wrong. I thought I was, but I'm really not. And I love it when we can see the villain's point of view. This is why Thrawn was such a powerful villain, right? He just wanted order and structure and to wipe out the rebellion. But hey, no one's perfect. Now, on the other side of the tale is, of course, Ulic Qel-Droma, who is very, very, very persistent in trying to impress his master, Master Arca. And during a droid uprising, Master Arca protects him, chastises Ulic on, not using his senses, not trusting his senses, expand his senses. Well, unfortunately, that happens to Master Arca. While he's distracted, a droid comes and kills him. Now, Ulic is just so upset by this. He's torn down because his master died, and it was because of him, is what he thinks. So once again, true to his character, Ulic Qel-Droma is like, you know what? It's all my fault. I should have done better. I need to be a better Jedi. I'm going to hunt down, root out this evil. Even if I have to join the dark side to find out who's in charge and kill them, I will. I will do it for Master Arca. Now, everyone, Tot, Nomi Sunrider, Kay, they all know this is a bad idea. And they tell him so. Kay's like, let me come with you. He's like, no, I need to do this alone. Again, dating back from Tales of the Jedi, Ulic is basically on his own. He's trying to do this on his own because that's what he needs to do. He's too headstrong. He doesn't think through it all. Even Nomi Sunrider, who has come to grow fondly of him, doesn't want him to leave. But no, he knows this is the way. Now, this is kind of imitating Dark Empire, which I don't mind, right? Because Luke decides, I gotta join the Emperor, join his side, get in the dark side, and then shut the Emperor's machines down and save the day. So Ulic is basically living that life. This is kind of the studies we hear. And by the way, there's a lot of references between Tales of the Jedi and the Dark Empire, and even some, of course, between the Jedi Academy trilogy. But this one is basically building up to Ulic's story, which is he goes to visit the cousins who were trying to find that Sith book or trying to find the meaning of it. Well, now with the help of Naga Shadow, they can read all the pages. They become very good in Sith magic. It's really good artwork. I love how the Tales of the Jedi feels like the Old Republic. Again, I love the design. I love the ships look like sailboats in a way, space-age sailboats. I love everyone looks like they're kind of in medieval times, space medieval times. And the whole, feel of this era is really ingrained in these comic books. And again, I didn't get to talk about the art a lot in my first review. And now that I'm going back through these, I want to start mentioning how good I think the artwork is. Whenever one of the girls uses Sith magic, there's like a half circle around her eye with little stars or whatever, just to show you she's doing her Sith magic. And they're just a bunch of rich brats who are just practicing in Sith magic. Naga Shadow knows these are not the people to continue on his legacy of Sith. He knows it's going to be Exar Kun and Ulic Qel-Droma. And he knows Ulic's coming. Now, Ulic, of course, gets into the good graces or the trust of the cousins. They both know that what he's doing. The brother or the man, I don't know why I keep calling him brother, sister, but the male cousin wants to just expose Ulic. That's all he wants to do. While the female cousin's like, no, I'll play his game. We'll play his game. Watch out. I'll bring him into the dark side while we're at it. Well, Ulic kind of falls in between the cracks here because toward the end, he's going to kill the male cousin because he finds out that's the guy who killed Master Arca. He thinks he's done it all. He has chosen a little bit. He's been tainted a little bit with the dark side because there have been he has learned some of the teachings. He has been tempted into the dark side, like he's falling for this girl. Nomi, Sunrider, Kay, Tot, they all come back just to drag him away. He's like, no, because he's thinking, I'm not finished here. But at the same time, there is a little hesitance, and you look like, you know what? I did feel kind of safe in the temptation of the dark side is calling him, but he still thinks, no, there must be more to do. He's wanting to peek a little bit more into the dark side. He's getting a little naughty. But that's at the very end. Exar Kun comes. They have a big battle. The ghost of Naga Shadow appears and basically instills upon them dark side or whatever, dark side energy, gives them both little stamps of approval and says, okay, you are the Exar Kun, you're the master. Ulic, you are the apprentice. Now, Ulic also knows that the Republic is weak as well. And he's like, well, the corruption just extends through the Republic too. It's been kind of hollowed out in weakness. Where have we heard this before, right? It's not a news story here, but they're thinking, okay, so they all have their own little ideas. You're going to see their different viewpoints split as you go into the next series. But overall, Dark Lords of the Sith is a great story, basically showing prophecy from at the very first story arc, Tales of the Jedi, come true here. And we're seeing two people who had good intentions, but now their mind is so twisted and screwed up that they're not thinking straight. They both think they're doing the right thing, and I like that they're just not the generic, villain, which we would see a lot back in the day, even in those days, just the generic over evil empire, or imperial officer, I should say, who just wants to do evil because he's an evil, mean person. So I'm glad they added a little bit more character here. And again, this is the last time we would see Veach in A Tales of the Jedi or anything Star Wars related, I believe. But Kevin J. Anderson probably got the notes and carried on in a good way. But I'll talk about that next time. See you later.